Welcome to SPK English Academy. I am Saranavasappa, English teacher at Government Adarsh Vidyalaya, Basavana Bhagyavadi Taluk, Vijaypura District, Karnataka State. In today's video, I will discuss the most important topic, that is literary theory and cultural study. So that is Stephen Greenblatt and New Historicism, Jacques Derrida's deconstruction, and Northrop Frye's myth criticism. So, we will discuss these three important critics and their contribution to literary theory and cultural studies. So, every year there is a question on these three important topics. So you have to understand the concept of that deconstruction, myth criticism, and new historicism. Now we'll discuss one by one. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe now only, and you can search on YouTube SPK English Academy. You will get other previous videos of English literature and theory and some of the grammar videos also. See, deconstruction and Jacques Derrida. So, deconstruction relates to structuralism. It deals about the structures of language, structures of the text. So, Jacques Derrida is most important post-structuralist critics. He gave his own contribution to cultural studies and also post structuralism. See, Jacques Derrida was a French philosopher born on July 15, 1930 in Algeria. He was best known for developing a form of semiotic analysis known as deconstruction, which he analyzed in numerous texts and developed into the context of phenomenology. He is one of the major figures associated with post structuralism and postmodern philosophy. So now look at the works of Jacques Derrida. First one is Speech and Phenomena, which was published in 1967. It is to be his most important work. See, Speech and Phenomena is very important work of Jacques Derrida. Next work is Of Grammatology, which was published in the same year 1967. So you have to remember, Of Grammatology was translated from French into English by the most important post-colonial critic Gayatri Spivak. See, Gayatri Spivak translated this Of Grammatology book from French to in English. See, Writing and Difference. It was also published in the same year, 1967. Margins of Philosophy, 1972. See, another one, that is, it is not a book, it is in the form of lectures. Structure, Sign, and Play in the Discourse of the Human Sciences. It is a collection of lectures which Derrida delivered in one of the popular universities. See, this was published in 1966 by the students of Jacques Derrida. See, Deconstruction. You have to understand the clear meaning of deconstruction. What do you mean by deconstruction? How this deconstruction different from that of historicism and other methods of criticism. See, deconstruction is a theory that is impossible for text to have one fixed meaning and emphasizes the role of the reader in the production of the meaning. So what it is a deconstruction? It is a kind of a theory. So it says deconstruction says it is impossible for text to have or to limit only for the single meaning, or it is not fixed for the fixed meaning. So that deconstruction forces the role of the reader in production of the meaning. It means the importance is given to the reader who reads the text on and often, and he creates the meaning of his own on the basis of the structures which that language is consisted of. See, next point, to analyze the text in order to show that there is no fixed meaning within the text, but that meaning is created each time in the act of reading. So, if you want to analyze a text in order to show that there is no fixed meaning within the text, so any text according to deconstruction has no its own fixed meaning. For every reading or for every time the reader who reads that particular text, he can create the meaning. So here reader is very important in this deconstruction. He creates the meaning. Jacques Derrida, whom the concept deconstruction is associated. See, Jacques Derrida is the originator of deconstruction concept. Carries this argument to its logical conclusion in his works, where he speaks of difference and difference. See, deconstruction is a critical concern with the relationship between text and meaning. Deconstruction is nothing but this is the relation between text and meaning. So how the text has different meaning, well, how that reader creates the different meaning in every different reading. See, it took inspiration from the works of Ferdinand de Saussure. He was also one of the most important post-structuralist critics. See, language is a system of signs, and words only have meaning because of the construct between these signs. What that says, language is a system of signs, and words only have meaning because of the construct between these signs. See, there is a structure, sign, and play in the discourse of human sciences. Is a paper which he presented at the Johns Hopkins University in 1966 launched post-structuralism into literary theory. See, he introduced the concepts difference and also discourse. These two concepts were introduced into English literary theory by Jacques Derrida. See, now we have to look at next critique, that is Northrop Frye and myth criticism. See, Herman Northrop Frye was born on July 14, 1912 and died on January 23, 1991. He was a Canadian literary critic and literary theorist, considered one of the most influential of the 20th century. So, see, Northrop Frye relating to myth criticism, and also he is a critic of Canada. This is very important to you. See, Canada, literary critic, Canadian literary critic. This question was asked in the previous question paper. See, Fry gained international fame with his first book, Fearful Cemetery, which was published in 1947, which led to the reinterpretation of poetry of William Blake. So you have to remember. So especially Northrop Frye's Fearful Cemetery is a work which led to the reinterpretation of the poetry of William Blake. So, in many of Blake's poem, myth is indulged. See, his lasting reputation rests principally on the theory of literary criticism and that he developed in Anatomy of Criticism. This was the another book written by Northrop Frye, which was published in 1957. Very important work, Anatomy of Criticism. This work was asked in the previous question paper. One of the most important works of literary theory published in the 20th century. See, the American critic Harold Bloom commented at the time of its publication that Anatomy established Fry as the foremost living student of Western literature. You can this question may be asked in the question paper. Who commented on Northrop Frye as the foremost living student of Western literature? American critic Harold Bloom. Fry rose to international prominence as a result of his first book, Fearful Cemetery, published in 1947. Until then, the prophetic poetry of William Blake had long been poorly understood. It means nobody had understood the poetry of William Blake very clearly and considerably by some to be delusional ramblings. See, Fry found in it a system of metaphor derived from Paradise Lost, the work of John Milton, and the Bible. His study of Blake's poetry was a major contribution to the subject. See, he was a major influence critic on Harold Bloom, Margaret Atwood, and other critics. In 1974-75, Fry was the Norton professor at Harvard University, but his primary position was as a professor at the University of Toronto and then Chancellor of Victoria College in the University of Toronto. See, Northrop Frye did not have a PhD, but he became a world famous literary critic in the 20th century. See, now look at works of Northrop Frye. See, already we discussed Fearful Symmetry, published in 1947. It is the reinterpretation of the poetry of William Blake. So, question may be asked: which of Northrop Frye's work tells about the reinterpretation of the poetry of William Blake? Next work, that is the Great Code and Bible. See, next, the Anatomy of Criticism, which was published in 1957. Very important work of Northrop Frye. It's synoptic overview of the principles and techniques of literary criticism. It introduced the archetypal approach called myth criticism, combining the typological interpretation of the Bible and conception of imagination prevalent in the writings of William Blake. See, concepts of Northrop Frye. See, Northrop Frye introduced into English literary theory mainly two concepts. See, what are those two concepts? See, centripetal and centrifugal. So these two are the concepts introduced into English literary theory by Northrop Frye. See, first one, centripetal. Centripetal. What is the mean? What do you mean by centripetal? It moves inwards towards the structure of a text. See, centripetal tells that it moves towards the structure of a text. Centrifugal, it moves away from the text and towards the society. See, difference. Centripetal moves towards the text, towards the structure of the text. Centripetal goes towards the text, but centrifugal moves away from the text and it goes towards the society. Remember the meaning of these two concepts. See, this Northrop Frye introduced his four mythos. This question was asked in the previous question paper. See, mythos, four mythos. Comedy, it is spring. Tragedy, autumn. Romance, summer. Irony and satire, winter. So these are the four mythoi which were introduced into English theory by Northrop Frye. So now we have to look at the great important literary critic and cultural studies critic, that is Stephen Greenblatt. See, Stephen J. Greenblatt was born on November 7, 1943. See, Boston, Massachusetts. See, Stephen Leigh Greenblatt was born on 7, 1943. He is an American Shakespearean literary historian and author. He has served as the John Cogan University Professor of the Humanities at Harvard University since 2000. Greenblatt is the general editor of Norton Shakespeare and the general editor to a contributor to Norton Anthology of English Literature. He was the founder of New Historicism. He was an American literary critic. See what that New Historicism says. In practicing the New Historicism, Stephen Greenblatt and Catherine Gallagher focused on 5 central aspects of new anecdotes. They are, what are those 5 new anecdotes? See, the recurrent use of anecdotes. Anecdotes means real life stories. Preoccupation with the nature of representation. Third one, fascination with the history of the body. Sharp focus on neglected details and skeptical analysis of ideology. He focused on the historical and cultural context. So these are the 5 aspects of new anecdotes suggested by Greenblatt, Stephen Greenblatt and Catherine Gallagher. See, this Stephen Greenblatt introduced the term resonance and wonder in his essay Resonance and Wonder. See, another term introduced self-fashioning in his book Resonance Self-Fashioning. This term signified a willingness to transform oneself into another. See, Now we have to look at the works of Stephen Greenblatt. So these are the works of Stephen Greenblatt. The first one, Swerve, How the World Became Modern. See, Will in the World, How Shakespeare Became Shakespeare. Hamlet in Purgatory, Practicing Historicism, Marvelous Possessions, The Wonder of the New World, Learning to Curse, Essays in Early Modern Culture. See, Practicing Historicism is very important work of Stephen Greenblatt. You have to remember this in your mind. So, in this video, we discussed Jacques Derrida's deconstruction, Northrop Frye's myth criticism or archetype criticism, and Stephen Greenblatt's new historicism. You have to study these critics, three critics. There will be a definite question on these three critics in the examination or in the question paper. Thank you for watching my video. Support, like, share for doing the next videos better.